Okay, at this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. And want to do the guests first?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Fine. Please introduce yourselves and then commence with your presentation.
Okay. I feel like I need a PowerPoint presentation.
No, you don't. Just
No.
talk to us.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So I think I know most all of you, but Callie Blair, and the three of us are with Partners for Rural Impact and Letcher Promise Neighborhood specifically. And just a quick background on that, Promise Neighborhood is a federal grant that's given out across the country. There are, I think there were 8 new ones this year. Is that what it was? So it's a pretty substantial grant, and it's a big deal to be chosen. And Letcher County was fortunate enough to receive that. And it focuses on improving schools and community involvement and bringing all that together to just improve the whole community, basically. We have 45 people working in our grant, so it's a big, that is a big deal to just hire 45 people in Letcher County. But I'll let you want me to keep going. I'll talk all day.
My name's Jenny Ann Foley, and I'm a retired school teacher, and am now taking a position as the intermediate integrated service coordinator, and I work primarily with student success navigators in the middle school.
And I'm Kim Miles. I'm program manager transitions in Letcher Promise Neighborhood. And again, just to elaborate on what Callie's already shared with us, our ultimate goal is just post-secondary success for all students. So that's just, we work off that preface, and addressing the educational inequalities that, inequities that we have, that we know we have here in Southeast Kentucky, just based in rural communities in general. We begin with just kindergarten readiness. So we just have a pipeline network. So beginning with kindergarten readiness, 3rd grade literacy problems, high school graduation, and then just what that post-secondary success, be it a diploma, a certificate, or just right into the job force, just being able to equip our kids and everything that wraps around that. So looking at what kind of jobs and opportunities that we need here in the county in order to make it be sustainable, let our kids stay here and work once they have those certificates and degrees. So we just want to help you. Hopefully we can help the libraries. I know we had 2 libraries just destroyed with the flood, and that alone is a huge obstacle that we know that we're facing. But we just want to help to advance that in any way, just so that all of our students can be successful. So we're just here to find out what could we do in collaboration with you and what you might already have in mind, such as any kind of children's programming, support for children's programming, just maybe that family involvement, family engagement, how we could come on board if you have ideas for that. I know the maker spaces that are out there that, if we might want to just create some of those and bring the community in, just that whole family engagement. So any way that we can get on board to help that, that's just, we're here to listen to you, hear the ideas that you have, and see how we can come in partnership to help you. Help those come.
And you have some book
And I
clubs.
told y'all to talk all day.
Right, yes,
So
so tell us about the
something
book
I
clubs.
forgot to say. So Kim mentioned post-secondary success, and just to get I know all of you all are aware of situations and things, but just to fully wrap your mind around how bad is the predicted post-secondary success rate for current 7th graders. So of the kids that are in 7th grade now, 13% are expected to be post-secondary successful. So that includes 4-year, 2-year vocational certificate, some kind of sustaining career, not just a job, but have an actual career. So, I think about like Eliza and Aiden. So Eliza and Aiden and 10 other kids in Letcher County are going to get a college degree. That is, and of those 12, maybe 3 or 4 of them come live here and the rest of them go use their degree somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
So
Right.
that's where we're at and what we are pushing against to try and,
And for our
get it as good as we can get it in 5 years.
Mhm.
Right, and we want our community, I mean, I'm born and raised here, I've always lived here, we don't want to see our, I just saw we're 400 and, it's already decreased by 450.
404
Yeah.
something.
The population is just
Right.
decreasing because there's nothing here, and we all love our community, and we all know what a beautiful place, a wonderful place it is here to live, and our kids, I think, love their communities, but they just can't be here and live and sustain, and they just can't stay here. So, what can we do? It's just time to step back. What can we do by coming together as a community and looking at our whole community to change that whole dynamic and make sure that they can come and stay. So as part of that, we
We
had
Madeline.
Book club.
Foreshadow to our
Mhm.
book club, we're trying to launch, not trying to launch, we are launching today a countywide book club. And we did a play on, Read Across America Week was last week, and everybody reads during Read Across America Week. I'm sure some of you all went into a school or saw a video,
Mhm.
and so we're doing Read Across the Neighborhood, because we're the promised neighborhood. So Read Across the Neighborhood, and that is, we have purchased a starter set of books, and we're hoping to continue that for the next go round. But we have an early learning book that's, you read this to the babies, and then we have a middle grade, intermediate book, and those we chose. Our theme this month is Kentucky authors. And so the first for the early learning is That Book Woman, and it's about the pack horse librarians and the
Mhm.
readingest boy there ever was. And, he hates to read, but this book lady just keeps coming.
Mhm.
And so that's our first book. And then for our intermediate level, we chose 2 Jessie Stewart books, The Beatenest Boy and A Penny's Worth of Character. And then for our high school through adult book, we chose Eli the Good, which is by Silas House. I think any of the 3, I've read all 4 of them, and I think they're all great for any level, but we've tried to break it down to meet kids where they're at. And we've got stickers that go in the book with QR codes with links to different information. I'd be happy to include, I have a link tree that so, if there's any library related website that you'd like to put on that link tree, let me know what it is and I'll stick it on there, and we'll get people linked up to the library, to the Libby app. And we've been pushing that hard. We want everybody to download the app, but
Just Libby? Overdrive? Oh, no, wait, sorry. Hoopla?
Hoopla.
whatever app you want it to be. Libby is the one I have on my phone. Whichever one is the best, you tell me, and that's the one we'll push.
Yeah, we haven't got to meet, we have had discussion with Tessa
There's no
about,
best.
we would love for all of our.
They go together.
We put them on.
Uh,
We send them out there.
To actually apply for a library card. So
Sure,
we
right.
talked about with her about coming into the schools and helping that happen, or whatever way that looks. Through Jenkins Library, I know we have Amanda Johnson as one of our navigators over there, and her mom is the librarian at Jenkins, so she's taken the lower, some kids from Verdine there, and they've already all applied for a library card. So that's just another goal of ours through the library to make
Get
sure
involved
that,
in it.
And
yeah.
we're just pushing this book club idea hard to just spread the love of reading and the love of learning, and hope that, because we all know students, you can't learn everything you need to learn in the classroom.
No.
That's 6 hours of your day, and you might pay attention 3 of them. So if we can get communities and families involved in reading and book clubs, and make it, this is just something we do every day. We just sit down with our kids and we read. Wow, what a concept, and so we're really going to be pushing that hard over the next few months, and we're going to try and sustain it throughout the whole 5 years. But we're really,
And we would love for it to
We'd
be a
love to.
love that our community continues.
Yeah.
after those
Right.
5 years. We just develop that atmosphere and that culture and
well,
that.
Have y'all done any research on preschool children? Like, for instance, Dolly Parton furnishes those
yeah,
books.
the
The
Imagination
Major
Library.
Library.
How many children do not belong to that?
don't
That's a good idea.
participate,
That
yeah.
Letcher County, how many are not enrolled? I don't know, but that's a great idea.
We
I
do
think-
have, we are gonna sit in with the Rotary, so we are gonna find out. I know Margaret kind of heads up the Rotary
Mhm.
for the Dolly Park Imagination.
Yeah.
Library.
Because that would be a
That's
great-
hopefully we'll get some
If we could get if we get 100% of the kids, I think that
Yeah,
would
I
be.
mean, that's 100% of them are getting a book in the mailbox and hopefully even if nobody read it to them, they can open it,
Mhm.
you know, because that's step one.
Grace, what were you gonna say?
On that note, two of our churches share a pastor, so we were all at ISA yesterday for Margaret Church, and so she approached me as soon as we get back open. She's bringing Dolly to us.
Oh,
We
had-
We had Dolly for
And
like
she's
3
got 7
months.
books for us, and we knew she's not tired.
Oh, that
we
is
would-
awesome. So
And we
anything
love to
that
be involved and help.
can help with any programming or anything that you might.
We do have funding available, you know, all this programming that we keep talking, and that can include paying to bring somebody in,
Mhm.
paying for an artist to
Artist.
come in, paying for an author to come do a talk,
Mhm.
paying for like I always say Chautauqua,
Mhm.
whatever,
Lecture
that's
series,
however
yeah.
that's supposed to be. You know, we can work with the library on paying for some of that funding. We would love to do, you know, I loved the library as a kid. When
Mhm.
we parked back here and I was like, I remember parking with my grandma when I was 3 and we'd come in and it was so fun. And I don't think kids get that anyway, so
Not as much.
anything that we can do to help you all that you feel would bring in kids or adults, we'll give you our contact information. Let us know and we are happy to do whatever we can, as long as you come to our book club.
Right, okay. So are you gonna
Yeah.
actually have
Well, and
a
that's what
meeting place and?
we're gonna,
If y'all need a place to meet, I'm sure that we can have space.
we'd
Mhm.
love to set up a
Yeah.
standing book club meeting
Right.
at the
Mhm.
library and
That
it
would be
just be
great.
open to the whole community. And like,
Mhm.
that's the whole idea of our book club is that it doesn't just have to be, well, Madeline and I are best friends and we're gonna read this book and
Mhm.
we'll talk about it. But
Right.
it's just, these are the book clubs. Read this
Mhm.
book and pick whichever one is closest to your house or closest to your heart or whatever and
Mhm.
go there. And hopefully the whole county is reading the same book and it doesn't matter if you go to the book club at Neon or if you go to the book club at Blackie, you're gonna be able to talk the same talk. And that's our idea behind it and what we're really hoping gets out there.
And we are meeting today at our offices, our PRI office today at 4 o'clock. And some of you, I know it's hard, I know with all the meetings, but you are invited to stop by there. But we try to reach out to all areas. So we have someone there from the Blackie area, Neon area, Jenkins area that are coming in. And so they've already reached out to us and said, hey, we've got 10 people for this
Mhm.
book club,
Good.
so they're gonna be picking up their books today. They can just look what works for you, for your club, meet as ever how often you want to meet. So it's just to encourage within those communities through churches, through the community centers, through just wherever communities meet in those neighborhoods.
I hear there's a nice coffee shop in Neon.
Mhm.
Great
That would be a
place to
great
sit
place
and
for
read
it,
a book.
yes.
If anybody knew what time we could have book club there, we'd be
Mhm.
glad to.
Sky's
do
the
that.
limit.
Sky, right.
Yeah,
Well,
we
now,
would
we
love.
already have an established book club.
Yeah, and that's
It
perfectly
Has met
fine.
for like 15 years.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Right.
something
That's open to anybody.
you know, maybe your book coincides with ours, if not.
I mean, we can.
Right, so maybe
we
next
work
month.
on that,
And
coordinate.
right, and if you were interested in having some books from this for that book club.
Yeah.
so we
That
could-
would be great.
Mhm.
Right now, it's been so hard to get some extra people and we just lost one
It
of
is-
our
yeah,
original
it
members by that.
It is.
Mhm.
It is hard,
But it's just hard to get them to come.
But
We've
we-
been meeting have kept it going for at least 15
That's
years.
awesome. And we'd be glad to help publicize that for you, get the word out. You know, you may want more people, but we invite you
We
anyway.
would love that more when we get more room. Right now,
Yes.
we've just got.
Right.
this little
And we are encouraging the community to snap those pictures of folks reading. If you want to do a book talk, you just read a book and someone in your club can just do a quick little 1-minute talk about your book and how you enjoyed it. And then share those. Callie's kind of our media
Webmaster.
person, but we can get that through there. We just don't want those running all the time so that people see in businesses. We want, people at their lunchtime, if they have time at the bank or the courthouse to have a book club, just, and it be as demanding as you want to make it, or it be as simple and relaxed as you want to make it. That's just totally up to you, but the bottom line is just to read.
We just feel like
And have that time together.
And I'm like Kelly.
But it never stopped me.
I go practically every month to kindergarten classes there. Because I'm a firm believer. Yeah, I'm expecting a new great grand in October, and I've already been buying books. So,
Yeah.
but, like, could I take the book, I have used that book.
The book woman.
But that, I'm not sure. But, if you could give me a book that you would like for me.
Yes, that would be great.
Because I sometimes go to the other classrooms, but I make sure I go to kindergarten. 'Cause I know it's-
Oh, that book woman, my little boy's in first grade, and now he doesn't necessarily like to sit still, but I did make him sit still and listen to that story, and he enjoyed it. It has real pretty pictures. It's a cute little book.
I did have that. Yeah, let's do it.
And just so you know, we have.
Oh, really?
We-
Awesome.
No,
Yeah.
we get,
We're gonna do.
I know, I saw that. I didn't realize that she had a children's book version of her, because I read her adult novel
It
one,
just came out.
and I didn't know it. I was like, oh, I would pick that one to go with it, but so, and it does, like I said, it doesn't have to be this exact book. And then, you do a lesson on Pack Horse Librarians after you finish it, and you take the bookmobile, and now here we are, and, so we just feel like the more emphasis that's placed on reading in the whole community, the more kids, it's great that they read in kindergarten, and everybody buys books for babies. But what happens between buying these books for babies and juniors in high school that can't read? Where's the disconnect? And so that's what we're hoping, that by pushing this, that here I bought this baby a book will continue, that feeling and stuff will continue throughout their lives. And that's I'll hush now.
Well, I had a couple questions or suggestions. One is that when I read Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, my immediate thought was that every inmate in the Letcher County Library, actually, I listened to it as an audiobook, and it was read by a young and adolescent, at least sounding person. And I said, everyone, and so I've been talking, I do some work with the jail. They will not, and I would love to get some public pressure against this. Bert says, we cannot let them have anything that doesn't cost them money. Even though they could do hoopla. I think I told you that. He said, no, they could sign up for it, get a library card. Nope, we can't let them do anything that doesn't cost money because of Kelwell. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. And I wish that we could change that.
As far as the tablets, now I can give them paperbacks. And
Okay, yeah, but a lot of them are not readers, is what I'm saying. The reason I thought the audio.
Speaker in the
Well, I don't know. That's a possibility. But I think I would love for you to consider that as a book, a book club choice, because I think that's a big part of that statistic. That's a lot of, the drug problem in our community is responsible for the low success rate. We know that, yeah. And so one of the things about that book is it doesn't sugarcoat anything. And I know Allie couldn't get through it, and I understand it is a difficult book to read.
I loved it.
Me too. I mean, it was
great.
painful.
Yeah.
It was painfully familiar, but
It's local too.
yes. Oh yeah. People know all those places that are talked about, but it's definitely something that a book club would be helpful for, because it's hard to deal with that in isolation. It's painful, and everyone has. So if you have an opportunity to talk about it, so I just encourage you to do that. And
So Madeline, just a question there. So just like you have, you have churches that visit the jail and are able to do that. And so could you go in there and just guide a book club with those books? Like,
I don't know,
someone-
that's-
Or could a community member just go in there and guide a book club
That's,
with those and ever how that needs to look, be it read it out loud, read parts out loud.
right, okay,
Ever how
that's,
long that
that's a
takes
good question.
To do that. if
And
that's a-
Bert would have to answer that. I know that they've been very restricted in how much contact you can have with the inmates.
Right.
And I know that there are some church groups that go in there and do Bible
That's-
studies,
yeah.
but it's a very select group that they allow to attend
Right,
that.
so maybe.
You know, it's always overcrowded. It's supposed to
Yeah.
hold 50. I don't think it's ever been below 70 some.
Right.
So yeah, but those would be, it'd be great if someone other than me were asking
Right,
those questions. That's what I'm
right.
saying. He sees me coming and he, but anyway, I
Right.
think,
And actually, our age range, we think of kids, but our age range does go up to 24.
okay,
So-
yeah, and there's a lot of
So that
people in there,
that
yeah.
includes that, any.
And
Yes.
the PRI also has another grant called the Full Service Community Schools Grant, and they have even more connection with communities and
As far as like unwed mothers and those. kind of
Okay,
things,
sure,
they're gonna deal with
okay,
that
yeah.
and have
So,
some resources.
there could definitely be some connection in there. And then we'll say one more thing and we'll let you all move on with your meeting, and I'll let Kim do this because it's her baby.
No, I got 2 questions.
Oh,
Okay,
Well,
okay,
then
ask
that's
her.
fine.
Now,
Yeah,
okay. I've got a problem with the 13% that go on to graduate school.
Mhm.
We don't, not everybody's suited for graduate school.
I agree, but that includes.
Okay.
That was-
Okay,
vocational
that's what I was.
that's
gonna
you're
get
going
to.
straight into the workforce.
I-
now.
Right now, the time to get kids in a vocational school
Oh, I
is
totally,
6th grade.
Yeah.
totally
Yeah, on a
agree.
track,
And we are
yeah.
working with
The whole,
CTE
the whole
programs.
curriculum can be built around, you cannot get a plumber, you can't get an
Right.
electrician, you can't get a carpenter.
That's exactly.
Oh, we are.
These are
with
the
you.
people we
So you guys
need.
work with Job Corps?
PRI does, our group specifically has not, but there is a connection that could be made, but we have not.
So one thing in regards to that, H, is cause we feel the same way. Juniors and seniors, you're not gonna change that trajectory a whole lot as far as their plans, to come in and do that. So we have there was a curriculum, and I think it was called, Career Cruisers or something like that
School
Mm,
for high school initially, but it's a Zello program, and we've just bought the curriculum for kindergarten through 5th grade. And that's gonna, with that, as a kindergartner, all it does is let them explore their community through an interactive game. And you kind of see, where does that child tend to go to? Do they go to where the heavy equipment's happening in the neighborhood, or do they go to the hospital, or do they always tend to go to the theater? Where do they tend to go to every time they're in there? And what that does is that keeps a track of what they like. So then by the time they get to 6th grade, it gets a little bit more specific, and it narrows that down to like 3 possible jobs, and it helps them explore that. When they get into high school, then we have to have that programming and those CTE pathways. We have to have those classes there that's gonna let them actually achieve what they're dreaming about wanting to do.
There's some tests, they're mainly for high school students, but like the Strong Campbell Entrance Inventory Test.
Mhm.
It will ask you the same question 3 times in different ways.
right.
And
And
then
that's the way this does.
at the
that's
end
for
of it-
older kids.
At the end of it, it will tell you what you like.
Mhm.
Then it will tell you the type of jobs that are available. Then it will tell you what kind of education you have to get that job.
And that's what
Mhm.
we're really
Right.
pushing for that to be.
And when we have people in staff in the schools that are called navigators, and they're actually going to go in and make sure that this program's done with fidelity with our kids
Mhm.
from the beginning of the school year to the end. So they need to be involved in this about 50 minutes every 2 weeks at a minimum to be successful.
Mhm.
So that's what we're guaranteeing, that they're going in and spending that time with these kids, talking about their futures, letting them think about, my kids both of my sons are musicians. They never did have that encouragement within the place, within the community that they needed and the support that they needed. Yet those supports were out there, they just didn't know how to get that. So
Mhm.
it's just to help, as a community, we've got to do better as a community too,
Mhm.
in what we're offering our kids at the high school. It looks different now than it looked 10 years ago in our community, and those same jobs.
My other question, Okay, you know that they're gonna lose a lot of teachers this year,
Yes.
a lot of teachers. We at Farm Bureau, I'm on board, are willing to put up $10,000 to $15,000 to hire a ag teacher.
Yeah, right.
Great, that's great.
We want an ag teacher, we've got one picked out, he's ready to go. We just gotta get the state to say he could be an
Well,
ag teacher.
I talked to,
And you
talk
know,
to
we
the
can help with
superintendent.
that, with that instruction.
I've talked to the
Every
superintendent, it costs 40 to 50,000 a year.
Mhm.
And if we can get, is there any money available from your source
Well,
that we can
you
combine?
know, we're a grant, so you have all kinds of rules about you can pay for this and
But you can't
you
pay.
can buy paper, but you can't buy ink, or you can do this and you can't do
Right, and
that.
salaries are
But
limited,
and
right,
salary is one of the things that we cannot do. We can pay for curriculum, we can pay for implementation, we can pay for every
Right.
trip.
What
you
about building a
take.
greenhouse?
We can build you a
Yes.
greenhouse, the biggest
Mhm.
greenhouse
See,
house
that's
you've ever seen.
that's our big thing. It's gonna cost 40, 50,000 to put a greenhouse in.
So
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can
when
work with
is the
soil
next time
conservation
that?
and extension.
Yeah, I
out
bet.
there.
it can-
There-
Yeah,
We
Listen.
want an
And
ag
farmers
teacher so
market.
badly in an ag program in the
Mhm.
vocational
Culinary
school.
program, we just want
Culinary
all
program
of
would
that,
be great,
all of
yeah.
that, just.
Who,
Mhm.
I want to talk to you or Mark or who at Kentucky Farm Bureau is the whole board.
he's the chair, are you the chair of
The
the
chair
board?
of the
That's what I
board, okay.
thought, yeah.
We would love to
Be
come
invited to that.
either to your
Mhm.
meeting or just set up a talk with whoever, but yeah, so that's good. Any
Okay.
other questions?
Oh,
So
that-
that's a yes, we're gonna do that.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay, so
You
we're
answered
solving
my
all the world's
Yeah, we
problems.
do, we,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, we do for sure. I'm glad to know that because I did
Mhm.
not, and we would
Mhm.
love to be a part of that.
We went and visited the School of Innovation in Floyd County and looked at what they
Oh,
have to
yeah.
offer
Their
there.
ag
And
program.
honestly, there's no reason our vocational school
Couldn't be
couldn't
doing
look
that.
exactly like that. In
Right.
fact, they have more space, they have more, there it was the is it
Hydroponics.
So they.
yeah, we could build
That
a,
container
like a
farm.
high tone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
well,
I know a lady at the farmer's market. We got this.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely, we just.
That was my two questions,
Yeah.
Well, and
and I'll get in touch with you.
I know you all, we need to move on, but the fidelity part is so important.
Yes.
And I know Kim had asked me about the community colleges, and I don't know that much about Southeast, but I don't know how this gets fixed or changed. But my granddaughter Olivia and my neighbor are both allied health,
Mhm.
okay? And Hazard was not offering any in-person classes with labs, and so they signed up for an in-person class with a lab here at Southeast. 2 days before the class started, the professor said, you'll be doing your labs on your own, so you don't need to plan on being here an hour after class on Wednesdays. And then they're meeting in a lab. There is no lab. The only, and I wrote our president, who is temporarily the president of Southeast now. And I said, first of all, we lost these students from Hazard because they wanted an in-person class. The only lab equipment used in the classroom is when the professor spits his chewing backer in a beaker. Now, where is the fidelity? You know, and this is a community college that I work for, so I don't know how we do that.
I don't know either.
But they're not gonna, and I've told them, you're not gonna be successful in the nursing program. You don't have a clue. You know, he'll draw something on the whiteboard, they say, and he says, now it's hard to see this from my drawing. And someone said, if we had a lab, maybe we could understand it better. But anyway, I know. But anyway, but I think that that's important, not only if you have connections, if this group has connections at the community college level, it kind of makes me crazy that they're talking about turning Hazard into a university.
And no lab.
Well, yeah, and,
Well, Ryan Quarles is planning a visit to Letcher County.
okay. Well, he
We'll
needs to be-
call you when he gets
Okay, right. Well,
But
yeah.
The final thing that we'll say,
Yeah.
and it'll be super fast, and we'll even leave, so you all continue without us. The reason we chose the theme for Kentucky authors this month. You wanna?
We have Silas House, Poet Laureate of Kentucky, he's gonna be here this Friday in our high
Oh,
school,
good.
talking to our juniors and seniors
Oh, that's wonderful.
about place and about being
Mhm.
proud, sharing issues, things that's came up for him about his dialect and how he's had to overcome that, being proud of where they come from. So he will be here this Friday at LCC. He's gonna talk to them that morning at 9. And then he'll be at the college for Jenkins at 1 that afternoon. And, there are some empty seats, so we can't, if you come by and there's an empty seat and you think you might want to stop in for that. And there is one.
At the college,
Over
Southeast.
Southeast.
I thought you said Jenkins. Where's
Well,
Jenkins?
Jenkins High School is
it's
gonna come.
juniors and seniors.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
we do have to give them priority for seating. the
Sure,
juniors and
okay,
seniors
gotcha,
and
gotcha,
staff
okay.
there, But I think there should be maybe 30 seats available at that time. And then at the high school, the same thing. So the juniors and seniors will get priority and the faculty. And then if there's empty seats and you want to come here, Silas, it's wonderful. If you've not ever heard him speak,
He's great.
it's just very encouraging. And I think our kids need to hear that encouragement before they launch out there. So we're excited about that. And that's why we chose, as Callie
Right,
said,
sure.
our Kentucky author theme for this month.
And Barbara Kingsolver has said she would
Yes.
donate books she tried to donate them to the Lee County school system and they wouldn't take them. Pulitzer Prize winning novels that they
If
would
we
take. So-
email you, flyers and things that go along with all that, do you care to share it around the group and?
If,
Oh, sure.
if you send them to me, I will put them on Facebook.
Yeah,
Right.
even better, yeah,
Right.
so I will get those to you by this afternoon,
Okay.
and then you can do what you will with them.
And we'll-
Now the Silas House one, we're not publicizing it too much, because like she said, there is limited, and I don't think
Wanna
we'd
make
have them lined out the door, but you hate to tell people, come, and it's like, oh,
Sorry, and it'd be crowded.
Right,
And they may just
right.
let people come in.
Yeah.
It's standing.
but we did want you all to know, I know all of you all are book lovers, so we wanted to share
I
that
wish I
with
could
any of
come.
you all.
Mm.
And if you have a super close friend that you can trust with a secret, you can tell them.
But don't put it in the newspaper, Sam, that's what she said.
It'll be too
It'll be too late, it'll be too late,
We
right.
can put it in the newspaper
You can
next
put it
week
in it
after the fact.
Right, yeah.
We'll be glad to send a picture and
Yes, yeah, we do have a wonderful picture, some wonderful pictures of it.
okay, and now we're done.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you
Really
all.
appreciate
Thank you
all
for
it.
so
coming,
much
yeah.
for letting us take
And
all your time.
Follow up with.
my phone number 634-3981. Call me after midnight.
All right, after midnight, okay.
4:00 at the,
At the PRI office for anybody that wants to talk more
Today,
about book
right.
club, if you
Yeah.
think you could handle another.
it'll for sure be me and Tessa.
Awesome.
All right.
As long
Oh,
as
so she is here today.
she's not here, but she's coming to that meeting.
Okay.
She's coming back for that meeting.
No,
He
he's
works
here.
here.
And I knew Randy was doing something similar to, is it Randy Wampler? Is she here doing something?
She doesn't work.
No, she doesn't work here, but I thought she was doing like some book clubs as part of her.
Yeah, as part of her library
Different
training.
extra library
Oh,
training.
Yeah,
okay.
she is
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
I don't
So-
Oh, I
remember.
didn't know
what-
anything about that. That's
Yeah.
It's on her Facebook
Yeah.
and I think
Okay.
she tagged,
okay.
she may have
I've
tagged
seen
us.
it on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, I've seen it. I was like, what is happening here?
So we're good to stay or go, whatever you all are most comfortable with. I don't know.
Well, we're gonna,
Yeah,
yeah, you're welcome to
stay.
stay.
Jimmy is gonna have.
All of our
She does
meetings
have
are
a
open
meeting.
to the public, so yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, next item is head librarians. Who wants to be first?
Ian, talk about the computers. Here, let me get the microphone over closer to you.
Oh, yeah.
Just let him come over here.
Thank you all.
Okay, well, it'll fit.
And I wasn't telling that to you, that's my book club, that's my email.
You're welcome to come to the coffee shop. You just let me know when you need.
Kim, we're meeting today
Thank you.
at 4, and
I'll
I
see you this
may,
afternoon.
can I call you now?
Yes, yeah, sure.
We're
So
gonna,
we got the new computers.
Yay, yay.
Ian's
they're all
gonna be
installed?
brief because we've got
Yeah.
limited time.
We got the new computers. The ones here are set up except for the laptops.
And genealogy.
Well, genealogy, the computer is set up, but the microfilm reader had an issue. We contacted the company and they said that it will not work with Windows 11. Tyrell is going to come back and finish setting up the computers for Jenkins. And when he does, he's gonna try to reinstall Windows 10 on the new computer instead of 11 and see if that'll let us continue to use the microfilm reader for now. They're kind of expensive to replace, but it's about 9 years old and it's no longer compatible with Windows with the new versions.
So will you be putting that on all of them or just?
No, just that one.
Just
Just that one.
But can we buy, I mean, if it's 9 years old, do we need to
They
make
just
them?
said it's
They're-
super expensive.
They're
It's
they're
like
anywhere from
$7,000
$6,000 to $9,000 or something like that for a new microfilm reader.
But all it would take is just,
One
down.
time, and it would be good for however long, until it.
But we're
it'll-
gonna see
yeah.
if Ty can fix the computer to work with the microfilm reader
Yeah.
we already have. Because
Yeah.
other than not being compatible with Windows 11, it's still
Fine.
really.
It
it's
works
good.
fine, okay.
Yeah.
I just, yeah.
But yeah, he's gonna come back and he's gonna finish setting up the computers for Jenkins. And we still need to figure out like when we're gonna get him over there and he'll go install them and do all that.
How many do you want us to set up, like, for Blackie now?
I got a place for
Four.
upstairs.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do the 4 right now, and then
Yeah,
we'll come back and get the rest in there later.
but we'll still have 4 downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We got them, they're just not set up yet. We had our staff development day. It went really good. It was really nice to get everybody together. A lot of the staff hadn't even met each other.
Wow.
There were 2 that hadn't met others,
Wow.
which is still, it feels like a lot
Yeah,
Mhm.
in a staff this size.
but they hadn't ever met. So that went.
I've heard nothing but positive things
Mhm.
from the staff meeting. I don't know if the other members have or not, but everybody I've talked to, they were really impressed
Yeah, I think that we should do that again. I think that should
on a
be.
regular basis.
A
I think
yearly-
that should be at least a year,
Quarterly or-
maybe twice a year or something like
I think
that.
twice a year is a
I
good
think
number to
like
shoot
spring
for.
and fall or something would be
Mhm.
nice, before
And-
summer reading, after summer reading.
Well, that's a good idea,
Would be
yeah.
Would be
Mhm.
nice. But I think that went really well and that's something that we should do again. The computers are really nice.
Yeah,
People are already complimenting them and talking about how happy they are that we got them. So that's really good. The staff computers with the double monitors has been fantastic.
Mhm.
I
Uh,
love it.
Right.
It's been great. Can't wait to get the genealogy set up so that we can actually do that. One of the things we've talked about is the possibility of getting a new desk for genealogy.
We definitely need a
Yeah,
new one.
we
but
need a
we're-
new one.
We need to find one that we agree on.
Yeah.
do we have
Okay.
someone that's doing the genealogy? I mean,
No.
We don't have a
it's-
staff
it-
person.
we're-
It's just-
We're doing what we can in there.
so there's no volunteer doing it either.
No.
No, but
At
I
this
have
point.
asked a couple of places if they run across somebody that is going to be a volunteer and is interested in working in genealogy, we'd be happy to take them. And I've asked the ladies that do the Daughters of the American Revolution stuff here, if they
Rachel
come
and
across
Lisa.
Rachel and Lisa.
Mhm.
yeah, if they come across anybody that they think would be interested in volunteering, to just let us
What
know.
about
They're not
part-time?
interested,
Damn.
did they,
Right,
did
They're,
you?
they're
It's not a
not.
paid
I
position.
know, but it could be.
but couldn't it be a paid position?
It
Well,
could
that's
be
what
a-
I was gonna say, if I don't wanna interrupt, you, but we are hiring, we have a summer intern program, we're paying salaries for those summer interns this summer. It would be high school students, it'd be juniors
And
and
they're more,
seniors.
probably more qualified.
But if you would like to have an intern here, what we can let, and that is again is through LKLP, but we're
Mhm.
paying those,
Actually, it was LKLP that I was talking to. They
Right.
have the seniors program, and Donnie, our contact for that, is who I asked. I'm
Right.
sorry, Ian, I
No,
hijacked
no,
your
it's
report.
okay.
But I was just gonna tell you that if you want an intern or 2 here, they're gonna place those according, we wanna place them where kids are interested.
Yeah.
If you that work there,
We'll take them.
that would
We'll
be-
take interns.
Right,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that would be, we're looking at 8 weeks at least that we hope to be able to include them. It'll be up through December. If they don't get all their hours in, they'll have till December to get the number of hours in. But just make sure, I'll mention your name to Brian, who was actually the one that's setting up those interns for us. But I could see that being very helpful, especially if we had a high school junior, senior interested in the history major.
And
or
genealogy, right.
Or in library
So,
science.
library
Mhm,
science,
mhm.
library science, right.
Yeah, we can talk about it more later if we need
All right,
to.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I just know, I know some of our people have to
I just
leave
wanted
at a
to
time.
just to know since,
What I was gonna say also, is that, you know, we have a lot of people really into genealogy
Right.
as
Mhm.
adults. I know
Mhm.
myself, I am.
Mhm.
And that kind of person offers just a wealth of information on ancestry, on using the books back there. I
Mhm.
mean, there's a lot of people very much involved with that. So I think it'd be great to search out people in our community as well, to use their resources and their education on, research of genealogy too.
And as a board member, I would not be opposed to paying someone for that
No.
position at that point. I think it's
Okay.
a really important contribution to our community to have someone knowledgeable in that area, even if it's part-time.
And we currently don't have like a Whitesburg genealogy group or anything.
Mhm.
I mean,
Did
there
have,
used
but
to
they're
be
not-
one.
Yeah, there was
There,
one.
there was a historical society.
Yeah.
And they did like publications and everything.
Did they just dissolve?
Yes, and then a bunch of the people that had been in it passed away. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just wonder if there isn't somebody in that group, maybe one or two.
Was there a county genealogy group, historical?
I know the Whitesburg one was
There was
real
one.
prevalent here. I
Okay,
remember.
all right.
Gracie had the oral history.
It was the Letcher County Genealogical and Historical Society. I
That-
think was
that's what I
called,
thought.
Historical
Okay.
and Genealogical Society.
Okay,
So that
It
would
was
be.
the whole county.
I was thinking it was, because I know my dad communicated with them.
That would be something to get, like, starting the history of Letcher County
yes.
and just,
Right.
I don't think anyone's done a photographic history.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, there's the one that's published by
There's
that
like-
outside group.
There's the little like images in America, there's
Right.
that one, but there's also 4 or 5 pictorial histories.
Oh, are
from-
there?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to look at those, yeah.
they're in
Does it-
genealogy.
Does
Okay.
it include all communities or
I think
just
so.
Whitesburg?
It's,
Okay.
I think it's all over.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Regina?
Gina?
Yeah, we finished up with thing 1, thing 2, and the cat in the hat. It was, a wild ride. The kids just love it. One of the teachers told me that, the program was better than what they pay big bucks for.
Great.
So,
You and Tessa
me and Tessa Broy.
and Roy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roy's the cat.
Well, you looked
Oh,
all
that's
good in the
right.
newspaper.
Yeah.
Right.
You did.
We saw Tessa said over 1,000. I don't know how many, what her final number was, but it was over 1,000 kids
It was like
and adults.
10 schools.
I
Yeah.
don't know, it's all over Letcher County, and then we did Myra Christian School. We always go over there and do them too, so. It was very, very good. We're glad it's over. Scarlett and I have been processing books again, and things are getting really overwhelming and crowded again downstairs, and we're just running out of space. And we've got more people donating again, and I think it's the spring. People are spring cleaning and they're wanting to get rid of their books. So we've got people bringing books again, and we're running out of space.
We are.
So are the books you're cataloging, these are all for the Neon Library right now? Or?
Yes, but we are
Okay.
holding some for Blackie that if we know
Okay.
that we already have one for all the other libraries, we hold some for Blackie. So we have a collection for them also that
did you attend the Neon City Council meeting with
No, I didn't.
Alita?
I tried to get her to come.
She was there.
Alita was
Alita
there,
was
but,
there,
yeah.
But not,
and you're gonna report to us about that,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I've been, just as an addition to Legina, I've been down, as I'm able to, and I don't have a lot of time to do it, but I go down and sort boxes. Because when they catalog them, they just put them in a box, whatever is in the box, and then the box goes downstairs. And I've been separating them into genres or parts of the library where they will go. And I was able to get down there and do like 12 boxes last week, but there's still a lot more to sort. So maybe as we get volunteers or somebody that I can train in it, we'll get more sorting done.
Maybe
Grace?
Kim has somebody that could come down and help.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Grace?
Okay,
Okay, good.
as I have for years, I went to Letcher Elementary for Dr. Seuss
Mm-hmm.
that first week in March.
What'd you dress up as?
I dressed up as the library.
There you go. Wow. Okay.
It always tickles me when I go into kindergarten, they'll say, there's that library girl. So I'm gonna keep going back.
There you go. That library girl.
And I always especially want to know if I still miss Lee's mom. We were just 3 years.
Right.
And just a report on Blackie Day. Blackie Day will be May the 10th and 11th. And I don't foresee us being up and running by then, but if not, we will do like we did last year. Last year, we moved outside, and so Christmas library will be there. And we have, if you wonder what the publicity thing was, $250. That was to pay to have Blackie Libraries and they put on Blackie shirts. Because we feel like our community, they're grieving the loss of their library and they need somewhere to hope and know that we still support them.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't, that's about the last thing we have. The community center's down, the library's down. A lot of the houses are going to be demolished.
Mm-hmm.
Blackie Day is struggling to keep going, so this year they got advertisements put on the back and
Mhm.
pay for the shirt. And this really, I guess, just needs to be addressed to you, Alita. I had someone come to me, they have got a Doug Adams print of the old Whitesburg High School. It is not framed, but they want to know if this library would be interested in having.
I think we've already got one.
Okay.
Of the old what's
I think it's on the wall somewhere in the building, but
Okay.
I don't know if you have the high school or not.
the high school, the old high school?
I don't-
isn't it in genealogy? I'll look.
Yeah,
I mean,
look.
It used to be here.
If
Okay.
we don't, if I don't find it, we'll accept it, but I
Yeah,
don't,
I
yeah.
want to, yeah.
Yeah, well, do they have any stipulations about like how we have to frame it or anything like that? Did they say?
No, they just said it would have to be framed, but,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they just said if you weren't interested in it, they would go another route to get it somewhere else.
Well,
Because they had asked first if we wanted it for Blackie, well, I think there's people in Blackie, truthfully, I'll just say it. Would be really upset if I put a picture of
Whitesburg,
High
yes,
School.
sure, because Letcher is
And,
there.
but we do have a Doug Adams print of the old Blackie.
oh,
Right,
good.
right, yeah.
It is not officially like this. John
That's like doing
Dickinson,
Sir Rob's Letcher and Neon.
Right, yeah. Can't do it.
But,
We gotta
I
put the
would
right
like that,
schools
though.
in the right sections.
Yeah.
With you,
they're
Okay.
right.
Yeah, you've
Mhm.
got some nice pictures in your
Yeah, you
shop.
do, yeah.
But that's, other than what I put in my report, that's, pretty much,
Okay.
I might just get a banner up, I just hope it doesn't have any dates on it.
No, I did not put any dates. It's in my car. I'll give it to you before you leave. It's green. It's got pictures of, basically it's the same thing as the Fleming Neon banner, except pictures from the Blackie rendering and the same, and the background color is green.
And on the other thing is, we do need to get, not that copier down there. One thing, my color and conversation group that I've had for years are want to get started back, well,
You need a copier.
we need a
We'll,
copy, we need
Mhm.
a copy for that. So
I've
Didn't we authorize one?
I think,
I thought we did.
I have a gently used copier
Yeah,
to
that's
take there. And then, I've already talked to Mountain Advocate who sold us our photocopier about getting photocopiers for Fleming Neon and Blackie.
Okay.
So we're gonna get it. They haven't sent me the estimate yet. And I told them like the one we've got, except it would be a newer model.
How can we get the one you have to her? Is that?
Ian and I are going to load it in the van on not this Wednesday, next Wednesday. And drive it there and then get it out of the van.
Did you know that, Ian?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was just looking at your expression. I wasn't sure. Okay.
It's heavy.
It's
It
really
is
heavy,
heavy.
yeah.
We got it. I and a gentleman at Johnson County got it into the van. And then Ian and I got it out of the van. Now we just have to get it back into the van.
And
It's
back out
heavy
again.
and it's awkward and doors want to open while you're trying to lift it.
Mhm.
Tape it up.
Yeah.
We will this time.
Yeah.
can you make sure that some toner, whatever it uses, that we have it? 'Cause
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We had none left from Paris, but
Mhm.
We should probably plug it in and make sure it works.
that
Yeah.
would be a good idea.
Before you do all that
Yeah,
moving,
before we
right,
load it,
exactly.
yeah, take it down there.
And I do have a motorized dolly that climbs stairs that I'd be happy to loan you if that would help.
Sure.
If there's steps, yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
we could,
I don't know that that would help that much because there's a ramp going down.
Oh,
here.
if there's a ramp, then you probably, it wouldn't help.
but.
well,
the
it
turn-
might help getting it
Yeah.
into the van if we used like one of the wooden boxes that we have that was, we might be able to
Okay, well,
fashion.
we can talk about that
Okay.
later. I see Jeanette's
Um,
expression. She's about to explode over there.
Okay.
You've got another meeting. Okay,
I go
Me.
120.
okay.
Last Monday, I went to the Fleming Neon City Council and I took copies of the plans. I took photos, images from the rendering video that Summit made us. I told them all of the things that we had going on, what we had planned. I told them the reason they hadn't had visits from the bookmobile is because we don't have a bookmobile anymore, but what we do have is an unmarked van. I told them that Roy's gonna start carrying like the sign to put out
That's a good
until we
idea.
can get a wrap on that van. And then I was also able to tell them that the the advertisement for bids for Fleming Neon Construction was for certain gonna be in the newspaper on Wednesday, and it was. So I had total dry mouth the whole time and I was excessively nervous. And of course, the camera was pointed at me and, but I answered any questions that they had. Mostly they didn't have any questions, but they were happy to hear that we were,
They just
Moving
wanted an
forward.
update.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
I
I
can
think,
see that.
yeah, and I think that's a good idea. I think we ought to figure out a schedule for you to do that at least every year, if not every other year, for all three city councils.
For the-
Jenkins, is it three? Jenkins, Whitesburg, and
For Neon.
Neon, right? Because, I mean, we are funded with taxpayer dollars.
We are.
Yeah.
I think it's really important for the public. And even though, for the public to know what's going on, but, whether or not the library is being rebuilt,
How about,
Especially
even
at
here,
this
but
time.
especially for those.
how about just having printed notes every month going to the council to let you all know what we're doing?
they
They
would
could-
love that.
Yeah, I think that would be good, but I think it's good to be, for a physical presence to be there if possible, in case there are questions.
But a
I don't
monthly,
think that's too
but a
much to
monthly
ask.
calendar like that, like for instance, Blackie, they could put, even though it's not a city, they could put it on the door and. people
Right, that's
know what's
true.
going
I
on.
mean, Blackie had a city council until
Yeah.
a little while
And
ago.
trust me, seeing that Neon, that did go out,
Devastated.
Made your heart feel good though.
well,
didn't
it made my heart feel good, but it
But
made
other
me get
people-
more questions.
I'm
Yeah.
sure, like, why
And
isn't
we-
ours?
And I'm just
Right.
want to put this out there. got to make sure the community knows what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to go through and, they'll say, we pay a library tax. Well, they
Right.
do.
Yeah, that's what they're
And-
doing.
Yeah.
And we don't want to do like Knox County, and lose their library tax.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, did that, I didn't know that
Well,
happened in
years
October.
ago, and I don't know if they ever got it back or not.
They did not.
Years
Wow.
ago, they got it back, and I can remember when severance tax went in, the lady who was over at that library at a meeting made a statement, and it broke my heart. She said, we can finally buy us a vacuum.
Wow,
And I
yeah,
thought, how fortunate are we to have what we have?
right, we don't want to
Yeah.
have an out,
That's right.
out.
No, we really don't.
And just one thing about the bookmobile, I know we don't have time to go into it, but I think we need to have a process to get the signage on the van,
Yeah, let's
right?
get it done.
We haven't, I know we haven't pursued
I
that,
went
but
to the superintendent, talked to the superintendent, she approved it, talked to a couple of principals, they approved it. But getting it organized to have the contest to get, and
Yeah.
what we're gonna do was just, and I don't have the time to,
right, I understand. And
and
that might be something that this group could help us with at some
Well-
point, Kim. We wanted to have an art contest to do the signage
For
for
the
the,
library.
for the,
It-
For the
That's-
van.
for the van, for the
and
bookmobile.
what we were thinking is, set off about a 20 to 28 section, like a poster board. And each school have a contest, and that, they could submit each grade, and then have a one school winner, and then all the school winners would receive maybe $10 or $15, and then have one grand prize win, but all of those would be printed on the van.
Right, but this is a year long. We need
Yeah.
something in the interim. We need
We
some
need
kind of
something like
signage.
Right now.
Right,
I would actually like to suggest that we do the school art contest when we're redoing library cards, because we can have multiple designs on
Mhm.
library cards
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and
And
when,
then
when
just-
do you anticipate doing that?
next year,
Okay,
maybe the year
so, yeah.
after, depending. But
Mhm.
I really think we need to get something on the van right now.
Do you want, I think each one of those, that board can look up different, designs or different.
Well, you had a design in mind. Why
I-
don't you send that out to us
I can.
after the meeting and we can give you
So
feedback
so
on
you're
it?
thinking just a wrap right now, a wrap.
Yeah, yeah,
Van.
a pretty simple one, but something so that it's not just an unmarked black van.
Yeah, something that says Letcher
Right,
County
it's a
Public
little
Library.
suspicious. You want a book, little girl? You know, I mean, it's just.
Have a
Yeah.
big dark van.
Right, that'd be.
At least
Um,
it's not black.
Right. Okay, are we,
Okay,
She's fin-
next.
Are you finishing up, Lita?
Are you finished, Chris? Yeah, we need to get to some of these things.
the minutes, has everyone looked over? Did I? Is that where we are?
Yeah.
Make sure I
yes,
said you're
the
there, if you're
minutes,
there.
And then in the little packet, you have the special meeting minutes that I had to make for us to take to the bank for renewing the CD.
Yeah.
CD.
Right. So we need to approve both of those, right?
Yes, please.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Thank you.
Okay.
Look at them first.
I'll
Oh,
make a
who?
motion.
Did you move, Libby? Okay.
Do you have a second?
I
No.
second it.
Okay,
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Okay. Any discussion? All those approved, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, motion carries. All right, now, the special meeting for the CD, we'll do that, or just include both of them at the same time.
Just include them both.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
February
Oh.
minutes and special.
I
Yeah.
did have something for the February minutes.
Oh, what was it?
I'm not listed as present.
Oh, I did that again because I was just sorry about that. I'll have to put that in just in my format. Okay.
You mean February 29th minutes?
February
February
19th.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I listed everyone except Ally. I'll add you to that list. Okay.
Quite
And
all
then send
right.
you the,
now we have the treasurer's report.
Did you get my email explaining?
No,
Okay. We have, and I keep looking at my email to see if the February ones are here yet, and they are not. But we have And I think we did November before, but I included it anyway. So November is, and I just stapled the two statements, two reports together for each month. So one is the general fund and then one is the state fund. In the general fund, we had, well, general accounts, we had 800. Do we need to do all 3 months or just the most recent?
Well, have we done we need to do the ones that have not yet been done.
Okay,
Right, so we haven't approved the, I'm sorry.
Didn't approve the January,
I know we didn't approve January or December.
Right. I
Um,
think you
we
and
need
I
to-
did this on November.
Okay, so we'll skip to December.
Now, how is it that we didn't do them?
I
weren't
didn't
here
have them.
yet.
Oh,
I
you
didn't have
okay, I
them
can't
or,
remember. Okay.
A new account.
yeah,
Oh, that's right, we had the new accountant. Okay, all
We were
right.
waiting
So-
on it.
You wanna do the November one first?
okay, we can.
Okay.
So, do you want to follow along and then,
Mhm.
okay. So in the general fund, in November, it was $829,545.36. In the business preferred money market, there was $505,683.48. In the CD, there was $103,887.19. And in the petty cash account, there was $680.57 for a total of $1,439,796.60. And then the state fund, which is stapled to this breakdown, is $59,506.92 for a total of $1,499,300. Let me try that again. $1,499,303.52. Do you want to approve them separately or just do them all as a lump?
Probably need to do them separate.
Okay.
Okay, so I move that we,
Okay,
okay, and then who
Madeline
wants to
made the
say-
motion,
moves that we accept the
except
November
November.
30th as information.
Okay, second,
I'll second.
any discussion? Motion carries. All those in favor, 65, saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, now we got December.
December, we had, in the checking account, there was $802,140.51. In the business preferred money market, there was $505,683.48. In the CD, there was $103,887.19. And then in the petty cash account, there was $334.35, making that total $1,412,045.53. And then the state fund account had $52,380.83. You need me to, you guys, okay, so that total was $1,464,426.36. And I'm just gonna give you my photos, my highlighted copies, so you can see where the numbers came from.
So I'm just gonna say that I think we can afford to hire a part-time genealogy person, maybe even a full-time genealogy person. I'm just,
Well, we do need to hire at least one more person, and they can do desk and genealogy
Oh,
if
sure.
we find a full-time person.
I think anyone, that's kind of goes with all the job descriptions, right? That everyone spends some time at the checking people out as
Yeah.
needed, yeah.
Yes,
If we were to do a full-time person like that, it would be desk and genealogy. we should try to find somebody who, has that kind of time, which would be good.
Like
Sure,
a history
yeah.
degree, but would be willing to be certified in library science.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
like
like that.
that.
would be Really good. That would benefit the county a lot.
Mhm.
We can.
I mean, I think we
come
have
up
the
with a
money
wish
to do
list.
it, and money is to be used and spent. I think, there's no reason for us to hoard it
And that would help here too.
with
Yeah,
coverage.
We can come up with a wish list.
Yeah.
And
And maybe we'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting. That would be a good thing, I think. So who wants to move that we accept the December 20?
I need a motion to, okay, Jeanette. made the
Jeanette
motion.
moves. Who seconds?
Second.
Cheryl.
Cheryl seconds.
Okay, any discussion? If not, all those approved, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'm not gonna give you a chance to disapprove.
Right. And then January, right?
yes, same spiel. In the checking account, there's $815,331.78. In the money market account, there's $505,683.48. In the CD, there's $103,887.19. And in the petty cash account, there's $216.74. Making the total for the general accounts, $1,425,119.19. And in the state fund, there is $48,192.97. Making the total $1,473,312.16.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Okay. Who moves?
I'll move.
Libby,
Okay.
Libby made it.
Libby moves.
Okay, do I have
I'll
a second?
second.
Okay, Madeline second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Okay. This is Director's Financial Report. The second page is the Amazon. Do you guys want to just look down the list and let me know if you have questions?
Yeah, I think we don't need to go over it in detail, do we? Unless someone has questions.
Any questions on
Either of them?
the question? Okay,
Okay.
Jeanette made a motion to approve. Second,
Okay.
Either one.
Okay, all
We
right.
both approve.
Libby.
All right.
Any
You're the
discussion?
third.
All those approved, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, motion carries.
The vouchers.
And then you're passing around the vouchers.
Yes. The top one is mine, and the green ones are things that I've added. I actually put the computer purchase invoices on that, even though Ruth is gonna see if she can send them an ACH. And if she can't send an ACH, then we'll do a wire, because they don't take checks for payment. Which is
Who is
weird.
that?
It's CDWG.
CDW, I think the G is go.
Yeah,
Oh, and is this for the,
it's for the computers.
oh, it's Deep Freeze Enterprise Edition.
Okay, okay.
I
That
couldn't figure
is
out.
Yeah.
down here on new business.
Okay. That's different, but it's the same company that we got the
It-
computers.
Kind of.
Okay. Mhm.
Deep Freeze is part of, it's produced by a company called Veronix, and CDW basically arranged for us to get a estimate from them.
Okay. And what? Well, you can explain when we get to it, what it is.
Yeah.
Deep Freeze is,
It's protecting software.
okay.
What's had to leave at one?
1:20, he has
Okay.
to leave at 1:20.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
we're going.
Right, okay.
Husband has some medical appointment.
I understand.
Yeah.
I hope Mr. Light is doing well. Ish. No.
No.
Jeanette, be
What do you
careful.
think
Thank
of
you.
Around if you need.
Mhm,
We're not gonna talk about it on camera.
mhm.
Good support system.
Good,
Good.
that's good, that's so important. Right, how
I'm
are
glad
your
you were able to
neighbors?
come.
They're better, you told me about.
Two of them in the nursing home, and I got one of them out Friday. Her home, so the other one's. So, cooking breakfast and dinner for the.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
That's.
Sounds like you are the
Oh,
closest.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Follow
Is that all of them?
what the Lord tells me.
That's right.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I make a
Okay.
motion to
Okay.
accept that.
Jeanette made the motion.
I thought we already approved the the
vouchers.
vouchers, okay, sorry, sorry,
It's okay.
okay.
Jeanette made the motion to accept vouchers.
Okay.
And
No.
second,
Completely understand.
Mhm.
Sorry for making it late.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm Charles' fault.
okay, is there a second?
Nice her, I should have known.
I'll
Uh,
second.
Okay,
Okay,
Jeanette, maybe, okay. All the approved, signify by saying aye.
I,
All those opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Okay, building projects. It was in my report, but I talked to Charlie the other day, basically when I was verifying that like the ad was going to be in the paper, and actually it was after I saw the ad. I do not have to be at the walkthrough on Wednesday because it's going to be after we've left already, but I've got keys for Charlie to use so he can open the building for the contractors that want to do the in-person walkthrough. And we talked about Blackie. He said he's going to do one last pass through on the plans for Blackie. And then Grace and I are going to look at the plans for Blackie as soon as he sent them to me. And then I will send them. Sorry, I don't know how I've done that. Then I will send them on to, like, I'll upload them into the grants portal for FEMA and send them directly to Jay and Paula so that they can help me push them through.
Right.
Because now I know what the process is to get plans approved, then we can hopefully push Blackie through faster.
Gosh, I hope both of these are up and going by the end of the year.
oh, I do too, yeah.
Craig, Kentucky Emergency Management, said once we had permission from FEMA to bid out the job, then it would go fast. Like as soon as the plans were approved and
Mhm.
that bid was, the ad was in the paper, it's just gonna fly. Well, depending on how long it takes to get the construction materials, but I swear we are working as fast as we can.
I know.
But yeah, so my hope is to have Blackie ad bid as soon as possible.
A quick question about that
Yes.
is, I know that the church, we learned they'll only pay 75%. Is that right? 75% of the cost of rebuilding?
It's a little different and
Okay.
they've told me this like 3 or 4 times and I have to ask for clarification every time.
Mhm.
To bring the building back to pre-flood status, it's 75% from FEMA, 13% from local government,
Oh,
12 is us.
Right.
what if
any-
local government's broke?
75% is better than
Oh,
none.
oh, of course, yes, yeah.
And I'm not gonna,
I thought that was state.
well,
it?
local government is supposed to be state.
What do you mean? It's state funds that the local government receives?
It goes to Kentucky Emergency Management and then they send it on to us. And I've filed the paperwork. I haven't seen the first, like I call every couple of months to talk
Okay.
to the person, but it's supposed to be direct deposited into our account. I'm not sure who local funds, like it's either the state or the county, but I'm pretty sure it's the state.
Do you
Yeah,
know,
it's
Sam?
state
You know, Sam?
fund- Yeah, it's state.
It's state,
Yeah,
it's
it
not,
is.
it's not,
Okay.
so
Yeah,
we
it
don't
is
have to worry
state.
about the.
Yeah.
The
'Cause
county
we're
getting
down
totally
to
broke,
13.
yeah, because
the
we
county-
don't.
13% that's not covered, that you gotta find.
Is from the, so it's 12% that the library is responsible for,
Yes.
but
Yeah, yeah.
13% is the state.
But there's more.
Okay, oh, there's more, okay.
Any mitigation, flood prevention, flood damage prevention that we do to the buildings is covered by FEMA 100%, which is why when we receive bids, the mitigation stuff has to be its own separate bid.
Okay.
That's the
Within the-
windows and the doors.
The windows, the doors, the special flooring, the drain that will not back up, sump pumps, the door dams, everything that we've got on the
100%?
plans, 100% is
That's
FEMA.
Oh, well, that is great,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's wonderful because that stuff's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
where the biggest
Mhm,
expense.
right.
I have no idea how much hurricane glazing costs, but I know it's more than I can afford, so we'll let FEMA take care of that.
Mhm.
And so I think we're moving along as well as can be expected with the building projects and FEMA stuff. The bid opening is the day after the third posting of the ad in the newspaper for, which is, I believe, the 28th. And they listed it in the ad.
Okay.
Yes, the 28th. And I think that's supposed to be here at 2. I will double check, read the ad, double check, and then let you guys know for sure.
So how do you determine, once we get those bids, who makes the decision which bid to accept?
You guys.
We do?
Yeah.
I think it would be
That'd
good for the board, so it's not
Yeah.
just your solitary,
Oh,
you know.
it's definitely not just
Okay.
my decision. I
But we
can give
might need a
input, but-
special meeting so that we can
Yeah.
Yeah,
speed
because we
things
want
up.
it to,
As
we don't
soon
want
as-
it to lay there.
Right,
No,
Okay.
no, we
So
so
definitely.
should we set a meeting if it's the
We'll make a
28th?
motion to set up a special meeting to speed up the completion of the.
Well, the 28th
To
is what? Is
Special,
that
it's a Thursday,
a
special
Thursday?
meeting to discuss and
Review the bids?
let me pull up that ad because I know that we have to have the bid opening. Let me pull up that ad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
because of course, you don't always want to go with the lowest bid.
No.
You want to,
We want somebody with a good reputation
right,
and a good bid.
right.
So it'll be March the 28th.
That's
Well,
what
let
she's
her
looking
see
at,
for
yeah.
sure.
Okay.
We could
While
actually do it
while
on
she's looking that up,
Friday.
Right, yeah.
Thursday, March
March.
28th at 2 p.m. It says sealed bids will be received, opened, and immediately read aloud.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like we need to do it March 28th.
and also, she was shopping for insurance on that. I stopped by this morning and Mark, said he would need, the square footage of all the buildings
It's in our annual report. I can give that to him.
and, he said it primarily at $1 million for $1 million policy, and then I think $100,000 for.
Oh, did you give it to me?
Yeah.
Here, you gave it to me.
Yeah.
Here it is.
And, let's see, it's, occupational limit, occurrence is $1 million, damage to, premises, 100,000, which, all these can be more or less or whatever.
So is
I'm
the
gonna-
insurance part of the bid process or is that separate?
It's separate.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
So
this-
we'll
just
need to
walked
get,
in.
And actually,
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
property insurance. The flood insurance is different.
yeah, flood has to be separate.
right,
and-
okay,
And,
And it's
Who's got the-
federally mandated.
yeah,
right. Oh, sure.
and he's,
yeah.
got medical insurance limit, 5,000 per person. Personal and, advertising injury, personal and,
Accidental and,
yeah, is $1 million. General, aggregate limit is 2 million. And so.
Let me,
so
But, okay, this is a really rough estimate, because I didn't have the measurements of the building.
Let me
And-
make a copy of this and keep one,
Okay,
and then I can
well, you can
send
have
him.
that copy.
Okay.
So
Um,
do we want to?
But he said he would come in and explain to you what each of these said.
Mhm.
If you get him the measurements, what was that little paper I gave you that? Really handwritten.
You gave me this?
No.
No, oh, no, that's, she
No.
gave, that's Ally gave me that.
I
don't know.
have, it's here.
Yeah,
But what I need right now
Is if we're,
is, it's in my stack here
the
somewhere.
umbrella thing.
Yes.
Okay, now the umbrella thing can be at the same time, the 28th. He can do that too, also, if he has.
okay, so do we need to do those at the same time? I mean, if, as Ian says, the bids have to be read aloud on Thursday, March 28th at 2:00. Shall we schedule a board meeting at that time?
It says Letcher County Library Board.
Yeah.
so-
Oh, it says,
Yeah.
it already says that we're meeting, so we better, okay,
Which
but we
time?
better put it in the
2
record.
o'clock?
2:00 on the, 2:00 on the 28th. Double check. Okay, we have to be done by 4:30 because I have a tooth cleaning appointment.
I'm sure it will.
Read aloud at
I'm
2
sure it won't
p.m.
either, yeah.
Thursday, March 28th, for the Flemington Public Library. The bids will be received at the Letcher County Public Library Board, which is really the library. Okay,
And Mark also said, if you want to increase this, you could possibly increase it, whatever you wanted on the policy. So he could write it up individually for it. Could be more or less, and
I need to let him know exactly what our
yeah, exactly.
building insurance, property insurance has been.
If he said if you could give him a copy of the old policy.
I can do that, but this is the, I don't remember when the next, when the renewal is. It's probably like in June. So we have time to get the property insurance quotes.
But he said if he had the other, he could tell you about the umbrella policy.
Okay, yeah, business owners with umbrella policy is the one that is up for renewal. And that's like, if the board were to be sued, that's what that's for.
That's $1,886.
That's what's due now. The total is 3,000. And
Okay. And if you want, I could give him a copy of this, and he can give you what the umbrella policy would be, and you could. go
I can
ahead.
give him a copy of that,
Okay,
or give you a
So we
copy of
can,
that.
so we will discuss that also at the
Yep.
meeting on the 28th or not?
yes,
Do we need to? Because we have, to have-
yeah,
We
because this
we
has to be
do,
out.
because I'll need to pay it before the 1st.
okay,
So, would you like to meet at 1 on the 28th and
And do
then
the-
do this and
Okay.
then do the bid
Okay.
opening?
okay, yeah. So I move that we have a special meeting, March 28th at 1:00.
Do I still need to email you, Sam, since you heard it here?
Might send a reminder,
Okay, you might have to remind me to remind you.
yeah.
Seriously.
Probably need to
Regina
send us
will have
all
to
a
remind-
reminder. But
Right,
today's
I'll
minutes-
send a reminder to the
I'll-
board, but yeah,
Okay,
To meet at 1.
to meet at 1 here.
here,
Right,
Try
yes,
to do all
not
that
Jenkins.
before the 2:00.
yes.
Well, it's just gonna be the insurance before the 2:00 because we can't open the bids until 2:00, right?
Right,
Yeah.
but, and we'll have some people that'll rush them in last minute, I'm certain of it.
Okay,
So you're gonna ask Mark if he can be there at 1:00?
Yes, here,
Okay.
1:00 on the 28th.
But we're not gonna make a decision, are we?
On,
No,
On
he could just,
insurance.
he could just read this.
oh,
off
no,
to-
just on this.
Yeah,
insurance.
just
just,
on
that's
the-
just an
Just
umbrella
the umbrella.
just-
that has to be covered before they start doing
Can I
work,
see that?
right?
Sure.
Yeah,
No, that's
that's just to have continuous coverage.
any construction company that
Oh, has to have
bids
their
out,
own
they have their own
insurance. Okay,
insurance.
This
I
is
mean-
in case somebody don't like what you said.
This-
See you.
This is
Oh,
above-
okay.
This is
Well,
above-
ooh,
this is
I'm
above-
worried now.
If they don't like me.
This is above and
You're
beyond.
covered.
Right, good, good.
No,
Up to $1 million.
we have Philadelphia insurance, which is also covering the board. Like if we were to ever be sued for something that was said, this goes above and beyond that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Like one of the lawyers said, anybody can sue anybody, anytime for anything.
Sure, I
And
know.
it's
Yep.
1,800.
Don't I know?
It's,
So,
it's
almost
3,000.
19.
It's
Oh, it's
3,000.
3,791.
Yes,
Okay.
the 18 is the due right now.
Okay,
6 months.
so I move that we have a special meeting, March 28th at 1 o'clock to select an umbrella insurance policy for the board. And at 2 o'clock, the bids will be opened. And then at that, can we assume that we will select, that we'll make a decision at that meeting about who gets the bid? Or is that too quick?
I think
Are we gonna have to do, I mean, I hate
I
to
think
delay.
the sooner we decide, the faster. it's
Yeah,
gonna be.
that's what
Yeah.
I feel like. I mean, I don't know. Does anyone have a reason that we shouldn't make it that
Unless we don't
decision?
like the bids.
Unless we don't like
Yeah.
any of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, or something.
Upon
Okay,
that
approval,
happens.
upon approval of the board, they will.
Yeah.
give it up.
okay, at
We
2
can do
o'clock, we will review
discussion of bids.
the bids.
And possible voting on approval.
Do we have a list
Vote on a-
of
Yeah,
what
that's-
all needs to be done?
Yeah.
And then we can look at the bids.
Right, and compare it to-
See
What
Right.
I listed.
what they're going,
And I was
What they're
wondering
planning on
who is offering the bids, you know, so we
yeah,
know
the
what they're.
construction companies.
We
We won't know that until we open them.
open the
Okay.
bids.
So it may
We
be that
have-
we'd want to do some checking out after we open the bids. That's why I'm wondering. We
We-
might not be able to.
We have a list. It's
Oh,
a
you do?
300-page spec sheet book.
Okay.
Oh, a list of what needs to be done, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the, I mean, I can make a list of all the steps we
They
need
have
to
to
do during the bid
do all
opening.
the stuff that's on that spec sheet. though.
Right.
Yes,
That's
they
because
have
I've done
to.
this
That's part of
Oh,
it.
you have?
I work for an architect. I worked for Bill for 6 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I know about specs and that kind of stuff.
Did you work with Kevin when he worked with Bill
Kevin,
Gillum
Bill
he came after,
Richardson, of course, right?
he came after me.
Mhm, okay.
So I'll get like a list of what all we have to do during a bid opening. And so we can just follow the steps
Mm-hmm.
for that. And I will try to, I mean, I know we have the plan. I have a copy of
Could I
them.
ask Ian to go make a copy of it?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I gotta leave it shortly.
So.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna have to leave shortly,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Thank you.
Okay.
So I'll make lists. Let me just jump to the next thing on my agenda, which is the interior of the elevator.
Mhm.
Sorry, can we jump to the part-time one?
Before H leaves?
Yeah.
Okay, I have asked around and nobody has a policy for that. It is a month by month basis. If anybody, and it's somehow tied to the Kentucky retirement system. They have in their stuff that anybody that works 100 hours or more is eligible for the retirement at their employer's pay.
100 hours a month.
100 hours a month. So,
And this is according to the Kentucky Library Association.
yeah, Kentucky Department for Libraries and Archives.
So mostly part-time get 80 hours, 20 hours a week or more.
It depends on how the weeks fall.
Yeah, I know some months have 5 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll have to write a policy that somehow says they can work as many hours in a week as long as they don't go over 100 hours in the
month.
in the calendar month. Yeah.
Right, okay. Which I think is a
Mhm.
reasonable thing to do,
Yeah,
and that would
yeah,
really
you just need to
give
work
some
up.
support. So
Well, I mean,
did you have something to say?
I was mentioning it through last week, you know, the difference between 20 hours and 24 hours is like $80 a payday for the people that are part-time. And when you're making 20 hours a week, $80 a payday is a big deal.
Is significant,
It
right,
is.
exactly.
But we
And
have
like you
to-
said, it's 3 8-hour days instead of 2 8-hour days and then
Yeah.
a short day, yeah.
They
We have
wouldn't be
to
able to
be,
come in.
we have to
Right.
be careful about how those are set up, because if we do end up, like this month, the first was,
Could we approve it?
Ca-
And
Just
then-
based on that, that
Yeah.
you'll make a policy saying that employees can't work more than 100 hours a week. That's what you're gonna
A
do,
month.
right?
well,
A month, I'm sorry.
yeah,
What do
you can,
foresee using another part-time person for?
There's no,
Floating,
um,
will they float around the 4 libraries? Or will they be stationed at one spot? How many hours? do
well, you already have
foresee
part-time
that they
employees.
need?
They already
Just
have
not
part-time, but they can
here.
only work 20 hours a week.
they can,
We're just
I
asking
mean,
for 4 more hours for the
Oh,
part-time
okay,
that already
okay. I
exists.
thought you hired someone entirely
There's
new.
always people that have to work by themselves.
Right.
And this day and time, it's not really safe to work by yourself.
Right, and that's what, like, we've talked about Ian having to be here by himself on a Saturday when there's things going on downstairs, and then in the evenings, right? Tuesday and Thursday evenings, and he's the only one here, and I think that's,
And
Blackie,
example,
yeah.
I had a,
Mhm.
when I had a
Right.
part-time worker, she fell, broke an
Mm.
ankle, and I had to call an ambulance. If she'd been there by herself, she would have
right,
been there in the floor until somebody just happened to come in.
right,
It's just not a good thing.
yeah, exactly. I think it's, I
And
think
I
it's,
think with those hours, if we go under there.
Just put at the direction of the board, the final
we'll
time
we'll have
schedule
to,
will be worked out.
yeah, I'll have to present the policy for review and then approval.
okay, so you will at the next meeting, in the April meeting, you'll present a policy. Right?
For a
Yes.
Part-time position. yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm gonna ask a question. I'm not sure I understood you correctly. Is that they can't work 100 hours in any month, or they
Yeah.
can't work 100 hours average?
In any month. I asked for that to be like clarified for me, and it's, yeah, and I double checked with the people at Kentucky Department for Libraries and Archives. It is any month. So the
Okay.
months where there's 5 weeks.
But the board can work it out as a time schedule, so that person would not have to show up for 2 hours. You know, that they could have like additional, maybe 8 hours one week, maybe 9 hours the next. Or so, yeah. So that
When
so
you
that
need
they,
them.
so that they wouldn't have to come in for a short period of time that's not feasible for them.
That's right,
Right, the travel would
that's right.
be as
Yeah.
much as their time working, okay.
man, it's,
Mhm.
I just want to ask
Mhm.
this, could we, as I've got 2 part-time people working. Can we at sort of us decide, we sort of have set days, but some days, with 6 days, hopefully, before too many months pass. That we can have sort of set days, but if we need to rearrange them, we can. Because, like sometimes 2 of us have got to be off at one time, so one person's gonna have to work somebody else's day. And
Mhm.
if we could have the
You have the flexibility.
Yeah.
flexibility
Right.
to rearrange our workers by whatever days we need.
Really,
Yeah,
that's what sense
that
for
makes
libraries,
sense.
Yeah.
schedules for the libraries anyway, because.
Right.
I'm not gonna make your schedule, Grace.
Right, okay.
I
Well,
just don't have that time.
actually, the policy manual says that you do, so
Yeah,
that's one thing we
Oh.
need to
Yeah.
change. So,
I
yeah,
won't. I don't make the schedule for here either.
right, I know, but that was what was
But
in the
yeah,
job description, so we
It-
need to
That
change
should
that,
be,
yeah.
that should be under the head librarian.
Right, right,
I mean,
okay,
Well, thank you, because that helps a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
you know when you need them. and
Yeah.
when you don't.
Right.
Well, you know,
You know,
if
we
We're
don't.
putting as much responsibility on the local libraries as
as
so that
possible.
they can,
yeah.
to make it their own schedule.
Well, and for example, I may have somebody, if we had to set a schedule, I might have somebody scheduled work on Friday. I may come up sick on Friday, the only person I'd have to deal would be,
One of those part-time,
Yeah.
and,
yeah,
and if they worked over that week, they could just.
Take it off the
listen
next.
sure, right, yeah.
So you want that in the form of motion, Ian?
Yeah. If you,
Okay.
What's the motion?
well,
higher.
to change the, to where the head librarians make the schedules probably.
Yeah.
We'll make the.
Changing the
schedule
policy
for
manual.
part-time, right, and that's one of the changes, yeah,
To
okay.
the board.
We don't really, you don't need to make a motion on that if we're gonna make a
Well,
motion
if
to
it's in the
accept the policy manual
I
as a
think that's
whole.
big thing.
Yeah, we might as well, we're gonna go over the policy manual,
Yeah.
but this is one thing we already know we wanna do.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I need a motion to,
okay, I'll move, who wants to
Okay.
second it?
Madeline moves, makes a motion,
I'll second.
and Libby seconds.
Okay.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All ayes, thank you.
Interior of the elevator, really fast. Dana was here. He said that our quote was, Dana's the elevator maintenance guy. He said our quote was outrageous and he was gonna talk to Chad about seeing if he could get that lowered a substantial amount. So I haven't contacted any contractors about like estimates for the elevator yet, because if Chad can cut his estimate a substantial amount, we can talk about that next time.
You've gotta go, okay.
Gotta go.
So we'll continue, all right,
Fill me in.
I will, I'll fill you.
I'm going to be sending out the image that I made as possible, like starting point for a bookmobile wrap. That's on my list here.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for coming. Deep freeze is protecting software. It basically freezes what is on the computer.
Hmm.
Can I ask about the bookmobile wrap?
Yes.
Do you have someone you're working with?
H found somebody that does bookmobile wrap,
Okay.
like that will wrap, he does the sports cars, but we've found some local
Okay.
vans
That's what I was
that we like. So I've got an email
Okay.
into Perry County Library to see who did theirs. And whether they do the graphic design or just do the wraps, because some people that do wraps don't do the graphic design for it. So I have somebody that H sent me, but I'm willing to take other people that
Bids
do
or-
it.
I'll
Yeah.
share something with you a little bit later.
Okay. But for right now, Roy's got the sidewalk sign that he can leave in the van or set outside the van that basically says, I'm with the library.
Right, well, he should definitely take it out of the van. No one's
Yeah.
gonna see it in the van, right?
If the back door's open. then-
Oh, okay, but yeah, okay.
So there's 2 estimates for deep freeze in there somewhere. One of them is a 3-year. It's
It's a maintenance contract too, so that they
Okay.
do updates and stuff like that. Deep freeze, basically what it does is when you set the computer up, if anything changes on the computer, it reverts it back to what it was before.
People can't
So if you get a
download
virus on it,
crazy things.
or
Right,
somebody downloads
good,
something crazy on it, it
okay.
takes it off and puts it back the way it was.
Okay, that sounds good, yeah.
The library used to have a
Here's
deep
mine.
freeze years ago, and then
There.
we switched to a free open source thing called Restore. and
Which
it's-
was good for old computers, but we've got
It's-
brand new
It's
computers.
not,
Mhm.
it's not as safe as deep freeze. It
Right.
doesn't remove viruses and stuff like that. So,
So the largest cost is the license for each computer, and then there's, we've got 2 different estimates here. So
What's the difference in the estimates?
one is for 1 year, and the other is for 3 years. And we would still need to pay the license amount, which is for all 40 computers, $2,423.60. But if we, well, it's a little bit more on the 3-year. It is $2,374.40. But the big difference is the
3-year versus the 1.
yeah, 3-year, it's the, they refer to it as the electronic distribution, which is $605
and 60 cents for the 40 computers for 1 year. But it's $1,187.60 for 3 years. And honestly, I think
That's the better deal.
it
Yeah, it
is
is. It looks
for
like that.
for $500.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway,
it'd
okay,
be
thank you. I don't know.
wasteful if we didn't
I had
go
one. I
for a
don't-
year.
Yeah, I'll take the 3-year. We'll
Yeah.
take the
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that makes the most sense to do.
Um,
Surely we won't need to get any new computers in the next 3 years. Hope not. Yeah.
would you guys like to make a motion to
Who
approve
wants to
the
move?
3-year?
I will move that we accept the 3-year.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Okay.
carries.
Okay.
There it is, covered with notes. Thank you. Health insurance payments, I got H to sign a one-time ACH for last month and the month before. I have one for this month, March to April, if somebody can sign that. And then I also got a perpetual one that we can reverse with a letter if we need to.
You know,
It's just,
It's because of an employee that's getting, no, what is this?
it's
for?
health
Yeah, what is
insurance.
Yeah,
for-
why
for
do
library
we have to
employees.
sign off?
It's just approval for them to take the money for the payment out of the bank without us sending them a check.
So,
it's automatic deduction.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
every month.
so we have to do it every month.
No. This one we would need to do for this month, the current
Uh-huh.
month. This one means that we don't have to do it every month.
Okay, okay. And this is just for one employee? that
No,
needs
it's
this.
the
for
health
everybody.
insurance
whole-
for
It's for everybody.
It's
Okay,
all the
okay.
health insurance, which is the
Here, you
full-time
just
employees.
Sign both of them.
Yes, please, thank you. And if you guys have questions about that, let me know. I already told you that we're gonna take the photocopier to Blackie. Scarlett and I and anybody else that we can grab from here are gonna go to Blackie with some empty boxes and some scanners and start inventory. So that we know what we need for Blackie as far as books.
That's great.
Mhm.
I figure with 3 or 4 people, we should be able to fly through it.
Of course, there'll be 2 of us there.
Mhm.
We'll get you to help. How many, do you have scanners? Okay.
We need to order new scanners.
Yes.
Scanners or somewhere.
So when you get a copier, most copiers now include scanners.
Not that kind of scanner.
It's
Oh, a
the
hand
beeping-
scanner, got
beeping
it, okay.
scanners.
Like the grocery store.
Right, okay.
We can just order those ones that you saw on Amazon that are
Yeah,
the same as
so-
the ones we've already got.
You
They
don't
just-
need authorization for that, it's under
No,
your,
it's-
okay.
That's
Yeah.
under our purview. So,
Okay.
and if we order them today, they'll be here in time for us to come and do. And we can leave you the 2 scanners that we order. Wait, how many are we gonna order, Ian?
Let me think about it.
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of them. Green and orange.
6. We'll, yeah, those are the new pens.
Right, right.
They are very similar to these.
Mm-hmm,
Like it's the same kind of design, but
mm-hmm.
these are from 4 Imprint and not a cold call company.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that takes care, and Blackie inventory, that's just to let you guys know, and so that it's on my calendar, so it doesn't get
Mhm.
postponed.
Now what? You got those boxes downstairs,
Mhm.
or we'll be just working downstairs.
No, we're gonna do a full inventory.
I mean, we'll just go through the boxes that are down there. Yeah, because we don't have much lighting down there.
We can,
And we might can move them up. We, about the only light that's working in that big room is up at the front.
well, I'm hoping we'll have, we can bring something.
Headlamps. Everyone
Yeah.
should wear a headlamp.
We will,
I know, that's the first thing I noticed when I
We can
came
scoot
into
the
that.
boxes up towards the front.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have we'll have a cart with us too, I'm sure. We're gonna have the whole van loaded. Photocopier. Do you want me to save your banner until Wednesday, next Wednesday, or bring it? And
Give it to her
bring it, or
today.
give it to you today?
Give it to me today and I'll
Mhm.
put it up to hang.
Okay.
So what's this time to shop around for property and van insurance?
Well, it is time to look
Property.
for property and van insurance. It's just like.
Oh,
real
property
estate.
insurance.
Yes.
I was thinking, are we
No,
expanding?
we're not
or
buying
some prop-
property. We're getting
buying
insurance.
Property insurance.
Yes, so if
Okay,
you
right,
know
okay.
anybody that does property insurance
Okay.
and we would like a bid from them or like an estimate, just let them know, and I'll send them the same thing that I'm
Okay.
gonna send to H.
Right.
And that, let me make sure I'm not missing anything, because that takes care of everything that I had. We did these, we did that.
So, and your monthly staff meeting is gonna be this Wednesday.
It is, we're gonna
at
have a short one to cover anything on here that we need to, and then as soon as,
Early So we can get out of here.
yeah, and then we're heading off to Owensboro.
Oh, that's
for
right, you're going to the conference, right, okay, so will
Yeah.
the library be closed?
Oh, no,
You're-
Legina and Scarlett will be here most of the time.
Okay,
The
okay.
one day that Legina has to be
I
off.
Don't have to be off.
Oh,
Don't
we were
have
gonna
to
borrow
be.
somebody from Blackie,
Oh, okay,
but thank you.
okay.
We'll take your help anytime you
No,
want.
I
know.
was just giving it to you.
Somebody has to.
Right.
And I went for my test and they told me that my insurance didn't approve it, so I didn't need the follow-up appointment with the
Oh,
doctor,
no.
so I canceled
What?
it.
This is the new insurance you all got?
Yeah, I
and
guess
it-
where it's new, I don't know, the
Did-
old one had approved it, but the new one turned it down.
Your doctor,
You should get your doctor
It was a
to,
CT
Yeah.
scan, right,
your
yeah.
doctor can
Probably good to go through that.
write it a different way.
Yeah, I know, we have to go through the whole process.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
me too. What a pain in the
Yeah.
behind.
yeah.
They said they called, but. And
You're
Yeah.
skeptical
I'm
because,
skeptical.
can you call, have you tried to call them yourself?
I had called them the week before and told them, asked them if he needed to give me a new prescription of antibiotics because my sinuses were
Uh-huh.
bad, and because he said he wanted a clean scan.
Mhm.
And they called me back and told me no, that everything was all right. But then when I go for the scan, they tell me that they tried to call me, couldn't get a hold of it.
That's so frustrating. So we're meeting
The
April 15th, tax day in Jenkins. Is that right?
Before we do
Oh,
that,
yeah, okay.
I have
Special
a
meeting.
term expires soon for library trustee.
Is it
You're coming up for renewal. Do you want to?
Please.
I will
tell me.
think about it.
Okay, think about it, send me a message.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's in June, maybe? When is it? I was wondering, I thought I was in my 4th year, but I wasn't
June
sure.
30th, yes. If you decide not to, you wouldn't be the first person to decide that one term was enough.
Yeah.
But if you want to, we would be happy to keep you for another
Mhm,
term,
mhm.
honestly.
Well, I'm leaning that way, but I've got to.
Yeah.
check out some
You gotta
things.
think
Do we
about
need
it.
to
and talk
offer
with-
you money and
Yeah.
We are not allowed to
vacation
offer-
rentals or something?
I can't bribe her.
Yeah.
Not
okay.
allowed.
Well, sorry, that, I hope the Zoom didn't pick that up. That's where I'll be sued. I'll be sued. I need
Yeah,
that in
you're gonna need that
coverage,
umbrella
right,
insurance.
exactly.
So I think that, special meeting, the 28th at 1:00.
Here.
Here.
Let's make that. plan.
Right, but our next meeting is
The
gonna
next
be,
meeting is April 15th, and that is at Jenkins.
Yeah.
right,
Cheryl, we talked about this possibly before you got here. We might want to hold May at Neon Lights.
You're welcome to.
mhm.
Okay.
You're welcome to.
Should be advanced into the library by then.
Right,
We can go
exactly.
over it.
That's
Yeah.
why I'd like to have it at Neon Lights, because
That would be great.
it could be.
Oh, that's right. So you all know, is it still going on? Is that all that work on The road from
805.
Seco to,
Actually,
I mean,
this
there-
week, we haven't seen anybody. So
oh,
we don't know
okay.
what's going on. There's a lot to be done, but, you know,
Okay.
there's nothing this
I've got to
week.
go over to
I got
Neon and I've always
stuck.
been going through Jenkins.
Did you?
I got stuck
Yeah.
on 805 while I was on my way to the Fleming Neon City Council meeting. I was a half an hour late. Oh, it was.
Well, they should have, they understood, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
They've had
Okay.
to deal with it.
March 28th, 1 PM. I will share that everywhere and try to remember to email it
Okay,
to
and
the
I'll
people.
I'll send a message through the group chat. I think everyone's on that
The
now.
messenger.
Yeah, Messenger,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, everybody is on it.
Okay. I don't know that Jeanette looks at it as much as,
Not as much.
yeah,
But
but she knew
that's
about.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's anything I talk to Dana. Your turn.
Do I hear
That's everything.
Okay,
Did you complain about how we were having trouble contacting or getting people to come out?
Getting the contractors.
oh, what's going on with that?
I've contacted contractors about the lights here,
Oh,
the stuff at Jenkins, the toilets downstairs, and I sent them all, like I've talked to them multiple times and I sent them all reminders.
I'm pretty sure
this
we're
morning.
over 2 years in and multiple people are out on the toilets downstairs and multiple people have just said that they would come back and then never came back.
So
so.
I sent them reminders again this morning, and if I don't hear anything, I'm gonna
Look
find
elsewhere.
another contractor for the
Yeah,
plumbing.
Right.
that's what, so those are still, yeah,
Which-
those are outstanding issues that we've talked
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
The toilets downstairs.
I
and
know that
What's
they're,
the other thing? And
the
the
lighting
lights.
here, and then the ceiling and roof stuff at Jenkins, and they also want like a storage room added on.
We
And
talked
that's
about
all.
that storage room before.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the leaks though until I saw it in the
report.
report.
Mhm.
Well, I know that they've got
Yes.
mildew
Yes.
issue.
Thank
with
you,
their-
Kim.
Thanks,
See
bye,
you.
Mom, and I'll see you.
See
at
you.
Okay, all right.
I know about the mildew on the ceiling, and I've contacted a couple of different people that say that they will come and look at it, and then
Where's it
Um,
at? Is it in the meeting room?
it's in the
or is-
meeting room.
So it's not in the
Mm.
general
No, it's,
population area.
I think once the roof has their nails or screws replaced, then that shouldn't be as much of a problem. But I've asked them to keep the door open so they get some circulation in there.
Yeah.
Are we talking about where yoga is? Are we talking
No,
about here? We're
No,
talking
this
about-
is at Jenkins.
At Jenkins, okay.
So
All
I'm
right,
still,
gotcha.
I'm
Okay.
still trying to get people to come and look at it
It's just hard to find anybody.
right now.
Yeah.
It is. I'm gonna keep tapping away.
Mhm.
Yeah, I told her, eventually we're just gonna have to call people and tell them, hey, look, we asked about this. If you're not gonna come, we're gonna.
Oh, for sure.
Right, yeah, I think I would tell them.
I don't
for
know. I
sure,
think
yeah.
if they've ghosted us, we don't have to tell them anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably just look for, but then
Look for
where do
somebody
you
that will
look?
come
Yeah.
in and do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I've done that with private contractors.
Oh, sure,
in my
yeah.
house, because,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
If
mean,
they
they
don't
didn't come,
show,
so I just go
yes.
ahead and hire somebody else.
Right.
I don't tell them anything.
exactly.
Call back and say, I can be there tomorrow. Sorry.
Mhm.
We're lucky. We got some mails and those people never did even. know that-
Yeah.
I know,
Well,
that's
the
so,
thing, we've been through multiple people on the toilets downstairs, and none of them have shown up. So I don't know what to do. with it.
Right.
You worked with the
I hate
county
that.
They say
plumber.
we're gonna order the
certified
parts and it'll take
plumbers.
a week and
No.
they'll
There's
be
a
here
county
with parts
certified
and they
plumber
never show
list.
up.
why do people do that?
Oh, where did I
Yeah.
find that?
Well, there's a guy.
You should go get the
Said,
parts
I
and
don't
say,
know
you don't
where
have
get
to
them.
order
Call
them.
Right, right.
Health
We've
department.
got them waiting for
Yeah.
you, yeah,
We use Jim Cottle.
yeah.
I have used Jim Cottle. I love Jim Cottle. He does not have time for us.
Well, we got with him finally, so.
Well, I probably told you my story about him.
We're
I
on-
hired him in Monroe. Oh, okay, well, anyway, I've told everybody.
Maybe after.
Yeah,
we,
okay.
Somebody want to make a
adjourn.
motion?
Yes,
to-
adjourn. Okay, who wants to move? It can't be Jeanette, even though I have it in here right
I
now.
move for the
Okay,
meeting to be adjourned.
I'll
okay,
second.
Cheryl.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay.
Motion carries. Thank you so much for attending our meeting. I hope you guys have a great afternoon.
Tell us a story about.
Okay, you turn